Alright guys, I think I'm going to start a new series here, which is Steve's Tractors. And starting here at the house, I've already shot about the first two parts to this. It's probably going to end up 3 or 4 because it takes kind of a while to go through all my buildings and stuff. I don't know. It's going to be something I can do videos on here for a little bit because really the weather has hampered any of my fixing or anything since our power was out and nobody else has come down here to help with the Allis-Chalmers, which I'm standing in between. And I'm not really mowing yet. Firewood, I don't really find that interesting, and I don't like the keyboard warriors telling me how to run a chainsaw. So, anyhow, so enjoy Steve's Tractor Adventures Tractor Collection. Alright, boys and girls, we're going to do something a little bit different today. And we're going to do a majority of Steve's Tractor Collection video. So we'll start here in the shop. It's actually raining outside. So here in the shop, my 76 red and white 408. Had that tractor for a few years, bought it out of the local salvage yard. Was missing the rear rims and stuff, has John Deere rims on it. Has a snowplow on it. I have the mower deck for it over in the one tank garage. And in the front there, I'm not going to do a very good job of video and stuff, but my 59 Li I've had for a long time. I think that was tractor number 4. I bought it very shortly after the 70 over here with the scoop. I've had that tractor 2007 or so I bought that thing. Didn't have my driver's license. Actually, that was one of the few Graveleys that the red and gold truck mom and dad had hauled tractors. Yeah, so I've had that one for a while. Behind that is a 1970 all-white 408. And that tractor, it runs, has some sort of problem when it gets hot. It starts missing and carrying on or wide open, and I'm starting to think it's a bad coil. I actually kind of remember thinking that, and I just never got around to it. In the back, maybe I'll do a little better job video in here. Hold on. So in the back over here, we have one of the 49Ls. This one come from a local farmer. I worked on his tractor and traded me some tractors for working on his tractor. And I bought the power bill separate. Actually does run. I've used this down at National Pike and around here some. The intake manifold on this leaks something terrible between the carb and the manifold. On the list, never have. My beloved 1970 Super Convertible. This was tractor number 3. I bought this, I wanted a Swiftmatic tractor. And it ran a 40-inch deck back in the day. Originally had duals on it. As you can see, it's electric start, has a headlight. Bought the scoop later on and put on it. Another good running tractor. Right beside it here, we have my 1948L with gear reduction wheels, rotary plow and planter shaft. I bought this right when I was getting my learner's permit because I remember driving back from Freeport with mom and dad, which is kind of unusual to have both of them. So another good running tractor, just doesn't get used a whole lot. The 5240 here that I'm standing on top of is actually a tractor. It's in really nice shape. It's just dusty from sitting in here. Could be polished. Good running tractor a guy gave me. Put a brand new carb on it. This was covered on YouTube a lot. The shelf behind you guys is the 5665 with steering brakes. I don't remember the year on this one off the top of my head, but had to be late 70s, early 80s. Auction buy, got it running, works pretty good. This actually came with the power broom, which is actually over in Ligonier with one of the Pro 12s and the 71C is over there, which is stuff that obviously you guys won't get to see in video. My 1963 C8, and no, this is not the one. Okay, just hold on. So this was the Phoenix project, come out of a bad fire over in Ligonier, PA. Got figured it would never run again. Actually, all I've really done to it is put another carburetor on it and a gas tank, and I got it running. It took a little bit to get the carbon off from underneath the valves and stuff, but knock on wood, or rubber handlebar grips. I haven't been into the motor, and this is the one that runs the chainsaw all the time. Beside it is a 63 Li, and actually I believe the one up there is its counterpart that is only 6-digit serial numbers apart. The 63 LIs. So that's why I kept them. This one come out of Greensburg. Actually, how me and Top Notch Tractors kind of got to know each other. He found this through a buddy of his that was helping settle an estate. Bought this and another tractor. My 58 Li. This was my grandpa's tractor. I have used this tractor longer than anything else here. Tractor number one, my dad's 62 Li. It hasn't been in one piece for a long time. The transmission is in the 59. So, you might as well say this is the tractor that got me going in all my walk behinds. This was the first one I had that ran right. And I did a lot of brush hogging with this tractor. A lot. Beside that, we have the 64 L8. Also came from a guy over towards Ligonier. I bought this with a 30-inch mower, perhaps a push cultivator. Kind of remember that appearing about the time of this tractor. And this is another really good running tractor. From what I remember, I think this tractor has a lot of end play. And I know it leaks oil. I think it's this one. A lot of these tractors I don't use a whole lot anymore, so the little nuances don't bother me. And over there is another 63 L8. This one I bought off my buddy Tom, and I don't know where exactly he bought it from. And this one had a top end kit put on it. The cylinder was actually split on that one. In the back corner there is to my knowledge, my oldest L right now, 44L. It has the low slung exhaust on it, the wood handles on it yet. Tractor could probably use a top end freshening, and works pretty good. So hold on, I gotta switch point of views here. Alright, over here on the far side of the new TV box, which I've had that for a while. I don't think I covered that on YouTube. Old TV still works, but you gotta unplug it and plug it back in to get it to turn on every time. Annoying. Anyhow, the 1962 Li postal tractor. The tractor itself come out of Ford City. Had the hood with it, but the gas tank and shroud were missing. So it's not an original tractor, it's a put together tractor, but it is what I call the mostly postal. So story behind that tractor, and I just recently acquired that post office blower, so yeah, maybe put it in rotation for next winter, see how that goes. I briefly mentioned this 1963 Li here. This one also came from the same guy that had the 49, and this one also had a split cylinder on it from what I remember. The motor was not stuck, but the cylinder was cracked right along the top fin where they had drilled the head bolts out the 3/8. That's why you don't do that, kids. Bad, bad. And to the right is the only L that I've actually fully restored. Is a 1952 United States Navy L. This actually came from my buddy Jake, or 5 Tractor Guy on YouTube, from up in Massachusetts there, and his buddy bought it from a Navy surplus sale. Excuse me, as the story goes, and I restored this about 2013 era. It's hard to believe this has been restored for 12 years now. It'll be 12 years in July? August? I think August. So, alright, pretty much everything in the shop, and there's assorted parts, and I believe I covered most of the rare and odd attachments in here. The buzz saw. This is a really early left-hand deck. Notice the cover and the cap on top. Most of these are MA106s in here. It's a later style deck on the 5240, and there is what they called a multi-mode mower on the front of the 5665, and that meant you could mulch, mow, or bag. I don't think anybody has a debris catcher for them, but that's that. We'll go into the far side here. Show you guys some stuff that isn't mine and some stuff that is. So we'll start with the elephants in the room here. These two are Alex's tractors, and you guys have seen Alex on the YouTube channel a lot here. A good friend of mine, he bought these at the auction cheap, and they were the copycat tractors for the Brush Valley Antique Iron and Power Club's raffle tractor for this year. So right here's three that are not mine. And then we have a, I don't know if this is a late 40s or early 50s L. I'm actually working on this for a customer. I'm doing all the mechanical work, and I told him I'm not painting it. I think I got the oil leaks all slowed up, but it looks like it's still leaking out of the drain plug on the left hand side. Great, grand, but irregardless. So as far as I know, that's all the tractors here that are not mine. So I'm going to lead off with that. This is a 122 Cub Cadet. I forget the year of this off the top of my head. If I remember, I'll post years in here. If I don't discuss it, it's because I don't remember. And this tractor runs and drives. PTO clutch is bad on this when I put the deck on it. I ran it with the snowblower. Worked fine, but when I put the deck on it, SOL. And obviously it needs a seat. And last but not least in here is the 1964 Gravely Westchester. And I actually have another one of these. It's about half of one, I would say. It was actually cut in half, and for parts and whatnot. So kind of a unique and rare tractor, but by no means, and I mean by no means, sought after. So pretty much in the shop. I don't think I covered much of the shop improvements I did over the winter, I don't think. I put the plywood on this wall, finish insulating it. I got a thermometer up there in the CCKA shroud, and there is a clock thermometer combo with the humidity in the KT shroud. So that's everything in the shop here, guys. And I think I'm going to try and keep these videos short because I'm actually out of YouTube videos, which is why I am looking for stuff to video. Odd. Every night we've gone to work on this, it has stormed, and the one night it took the power out, supposedly between 85 and I believe I've heard wind mile per hour is in the low 100s. So we will get to this. It just hasn't worked out yet. We've all been busy after the storms, cutting trees, working on generators, keeping stuff going. So, alright. That's it for the barn. We'll go back into the lean-tos back here.